Welcome to Lead with Clarity. This is a space for leaders who want to grow without losing themselves in the process. Each episode is a short reflection on leadership, influence, and the inner work that shapes how we show up for others. It's not hype, not noise, just clear thinking for the journey of leading well. Today's episode is entitled Driving into Growth: How Intentional Leaders Stay Ahead of Default. Here we go. There's something that happens to leaders over time that nobody talks about enough. It's not burnout. It's not failure. It's something quieter and, honestly, more dangerous. It's drift. I want to start today with a quote that's been sitting with me. It's from my friend Chris Robinson, and it goes like this. If you're not driving into your growth, you're drifting into default. Let me say that again. If you're not driving into your growth, you're drifting into default. That word default is the one I want you to hold on to today. Default is what happens when you stop making active choices. It's not a bad decision, it's the absence of a decision. And in leadership, the absence of a decision is still a decision. It just means you've handed the wheel to inertia, maybe taken the ostrich approach. Think about where you were 3 years ago as a leader, the way you ran a conversation, the way you responded to conflict, the mental models you used to make decisions. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of that has actually changed? How much have you evolved versus how much have you just gotten more efficient at doing what you already know? Here's where most people misread this idea. They hear drive into your growth and they think it means grind harder, work more, add another commitment to a calendar that's already overflowing. That's not it at all. Driving into your growth is fundamentally about intentionality. It means you are making a conscious choice on a regular basis to engage with the edges of what you know. Stay curious, to ask questions that don't have easy answers, to put yourself in rooms, conversations, and situations where you have to grow in order to keep up. Drift, on the other hand, looks productive, and that's the thing. A drifting leader is usually busy. They're responding, they're executing, they're managing, they show up, they deliver. But they stopped learning 2 years ago and just haven't noticed yet. I've seen this in some of the most accomplished executives I've ever worked with. Not because they're lazy, because real success, creates its own kind of gravity. The very things that made you good can lock you into patterns that will eventually limit you. The market shifts, the team changes, the complexity increases, and the leader is still running plays from a playbook that was written 5 years ago. So here's the reframe I want to offer you today. Growth is not a phase. It's not something you do early in your career and arrive at later. Growth is a discipline. It's a posture. It's a daily commitment to staying in motion relative to the world around you. And here's the practical truth. The leaders who grow on purpose are not necessarily the most talented. They are the most honest. They're honest about what they don't know. They're honest about where they've stopped challenging themselves. They're honest about the feedback they've been avoiding. Before you move on with your day, I want you to sit with one question, just one. Where in your leadership right now are you on autopilot? Not bad, not wrong, just automatic. Operating from habit rather than from intention. That's where your growth lives, not in some ambitious future version of you, right there in the space between where you are and where your habits end. You don't have to change everything. You just have to choose something. And you have to choose it on purpose. Because if you're not driving into your growth, you are, in fact, drifting into default. And the longer you drift, the further you get from the leader you actually want to become. The growth that matters most isn't dramatic. It's quiet, it's consistent, and it is chosen daily. That is where real leadership is built.